The following is a presentation of CW Sports.
It's the final race of the regular season for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and it comes at the world's fastest half mile, Bristol Motor Speedway. The Bristol Night Race is one of the best events of the year, and it also marks the start of a new era for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Welcome to NASCAR Racing on the CW.
Bristol, under the lights, is like no other. The beating, the banging, and the tippers.
That's why there's people in the grandstands.
All amplified up into a vortex of sound and energy. One of my all-time favorites.
It's Bristol, baby!
36 of the best drivers enter the ring tonight for our last Xfinity race of the regular season. Some old and some new. After 25 races of celebrations, heartbreak, and everything in between, it all comes down to this.
Let's go get it.
The last race before the playoffs.
Green.
The last shot at finishing the regular season strong.
Go.
The last moment to get it right. For the first time on the series' new home, the CW, in the last great Coliseum. Let's go racing in Bristol.
Welcome to NASCAR Countdown Live here on the CW, and what a way to kick things off. As Dale Jr. said, the night race at Bristol is like no other. So, Dale Jarrett, what makes this weekend so special?
Well, Marty, there's so many things about this place that are different from anywhere else that you go as a race driver. You're not going to find a racetrack, a facility like this. And just in case you weren't excited when you came, the only way to get in here, to get to your car, is to come across the racetrack, and that energizes you, gets you ready. And hey, what did Dale Jr. say? It's Bristol, baby.
Yeah, that's why the fans love the Bristol night race for sure. And just outside of Victory Lane, along with the Hall of Famer Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty, I'm Marty Sider, and a special welcome to all of you watching for the first time here on the CW. So, Kyle, for a series that was founded on short track, nighttime racing, is there a more perfect fitting into the regular season than the Bristol Night Race?
I don't believe so. I think if you are a short track asphalt racer anywhere in America, this is the racetrack you dream of. And Bristol is your local short track times 1,000.
Here's how you start the playoffs, boys. It's Bristol, baby! Come on!
I just got booed and just got cheered. I don't know what's going on. Welcome to Bristol, baby.
Inside, bring it to the line. I will murder him all playoffs. Hell yeah. Now that's a damn show, boys. Good run, Cowboy, good run.
It's Bristol, baby! Let's go!
It is short track racing on an adrenaline rush, and we're right here at the base of the Appalachian Mountains, and it is the last great Coliseum for the Xfinity Series from Bristol Motor Speedway. Cars starting to roll, and we'll welcome you into the booth and welcome all of you to the CW alongside our crew chief, Steve Letarte, the mayor, Jeff Burton, Rick Allen with you. I've been asked many times, what's it like to watch a race at Bristol? And every time I'll answer, well, imagine fighter jets in a gymnasium. And Steve, now it's at night. It just is amped up here.
That's the excitement of the race, but the entire event is just that. Every sport has its marquee matchup that you look forward to all year long. Well, the marquee events in NASCAR, the night race at Bristol, this stop this weekend is one of them. It brings out the biggest stars. Dale Sr., who has highlights here. Jeff Gordon, Rusty Waltz. It's a who's who of Hall of Famers.
He just mentioned the who's who. We've got a big name in this one too, right, Jeff?
Yes, we do. The biggest name in the sport, Dale Earnhardt Jr. And you may think that Dale Jr. is coming here as a retired race car driver just to ride around and make laps. Well, last year, he had a real opportunity to win this race, led a ton of laps, had a mechanical issue. The crowd went nuts when he took the lead. If he can do that again tonight, the excitement will be crazy.
And he's going to be a favorite. So not starting up inside the top 5, but Dale Earnhardt Jr. had a pretty good starting spot. So let's take a look at the starting lineup. As you see, the 45, they're still working. They've changed an engine. They're wanting to get Stephen Parsons out there on track. But it was Chandler Smith who won the pole, and Cole Custer, who's last year's champion, will start on the outside of row 1. Marty.
Let's talk about Jesse Love, his first ever Bristol start. Talk about baptism by fire, Rick. And he asked his crew chief, Danny Stockman, what's the #1 thing I need to know about Bristol? And Stockman told him, we have to be able to run the bottom of the racetrack. If you can run the first half of this race on the bottom, we will be good towards the end of the race. So that's his goal this evening, and to keep the momentum going as well. They have 3 state top 10s, Dylan.
Riley Herbst starts in row number 7 and won in Indianapolis 6 races ago, but since then, only one finish better than 13th. They're stumbling into the playoffs right now. They're in, but it's not an ideal scenario, one that the 98 team wants to correct from a momentum standpoint. Crew Chief Davner Estivo said to me earlier today, their plan, just be on full attack all night. Go for the win, do whatever they can to get some positive momentum back on the 98 team side, Kim.
Talk about positive momentum. How about pole sitter Chandler Smith and this 81 team? They are finally back in a rhythm. He's coming off 4 straight top 10 finishes after what was a dismal summer stretch. This team so focused because they currently sit just 19 points behind Cole Custer for second in the playoff standings. They told me there is still a real possibility to gain another spot in the standings, which awards more playoff points. And we know once the title run starts, every single point matters.
It sure does, Kim. And we're going to take a look at the playoff points right now. And the standings, again, there will be 12 drivers that are going to fight for a championship. Right now, you see 10 of the drivers are in yellow. That means they're locked into the playoffs, which start next week. Kligerman, Smith, Sieg, those 3 are all vying for points to see if they can lock themselves in after today's race.
And there's drivers in here, Brandon Jones. He can win this race, and that would launch him in and move probably Sammy Smith out. You would think Sammy Smith is great, 43 points, but it's Bristol. You could get in a wreck early in this race, find yourself in trouble.
It is a big deal for Sammy Smith. Let's listen in on his radio, a little pep talk.
Give him hell, man. We're here for you. Yep, 10-4. Thank you guys for all the hard work. Let's dig deep tonight. Obviously, we're not where we want to be, but let's go execute and get ourselves a sword.
Absolutely. We all know what's at stake right here. Just be aggressive, stay focused.
All right, go get that sword, the very unique trophy that you can get from here at Bristol. All right, Steve, it's 300 laps, but it's a lot more than that for tonight's race.
300 laps broken down into stages. The first stage, 85 laps in length. The second stage, 85 laps in length. That final stage, 130. Fuel window, they can go nearly half the race at 150 laps at pit road speed, crawling slow at 30 miles an hour. You do not want to have a problem and have to come down pit road under green here. You will lose multiple laps.
All right, Jeff, what's it mean as a driver to be behind the wheel here at Bristol under the lights?
This is one of our premier events. You want to be a winner at the big shows, and this is one of them. And it is, you know, if you think about it, some of the sport's greatest drivers have won at this racetrack. And it is a test of the machine. It's a test of the driver. It's a test of the team. And on top of that, some of it's about how you think. This is, you want to be physical, Steve, but you have to run all 300 laps. It's easy to cause a wreck here, easy to get in one.
Racing at Bristol is like running an entire race or playing an entire football game in the 2-minute drill. I mean, that's exactly what this is, right? You don't have the huddle. You don't have time. If you have to think too much, it's already happened. Both from the spotter on top of the roof, the driver behind the wheel, and even the crew chief. You have to be very selective when you talk to your driver. 38 cars on a half mile. The confines are what makes this racetrack what it is. The speed does not match the size. Something just doesn't seem right. It's not natural, and it's so much fun.
The banking here at Bristol, it's 24 degrees at the bottom of the track, 28 degrees at the top of the track. That means they're going to be carrying speeds over 100 miles an hour through the center of the turns. So they will be flying around this track. Again, a half a mile. Laps will click off in about 16 seconds. And again, 300 of them tonight. Cole Custer in the 00, that blue and white high point on the hood. And Chandler Smith, the pole winner, he has chosen the outside line for the start of this race in the 81. Justin Allgaier right now leading the points. He is on the outside of row 2 in that number 7. We are racing under the lights at Bristol. And right away, look at Allgaier going to the outside, challenging for the lead early here at Bristol. So we have Allgaier now, who is going to restart on the outside. with Chandler Smith on the inside as we get ready for the green flag.
Go, go, go. Rolling.
Allgaier, great jump there.